Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, the 11th of June 2021. Today in Mill News, we've got details about two young Millwall defenders. One of them was released this month, and that's Harry Ransom. And he's actually got himself a new club, which I'm kind of pleased about. Bit of a shock coming out there, but this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, which is the South London Press's online website. It says, release Millwall defender seals League 2 switch. Former Millwall defender Harry Ransom has signed for Crawley Town on a free transfer. The 21-year-old signed for the Lions in 2019 from Eastbourne Borough. The centre-back never made a Sydney appearance for the first team, but featured 8 times for National League Dover Flegg during a loan spell last season. Ransom was released from the South London club after his contract finished at the end of the season. Will now link up with former Millwall left-back Tony Craig. Ransom said, "I'm delighted to be here and really pleased. I've got it sorted early on in the off-season. I know a few of the staff and the gaffer said how important it was that I live locally to the club." Crawley manager John Yem said, "I've known Harry for a while and he's a good lad, and that will be a fantastic addition to next season's squad." So there you go, signed for a League 2 Crawley Town. I think it's one of those, he's got the physical attributes to be a decent defender. Maybe he needs a year or two, more coaching, more training, more playing to get a bit better, and I can't see why he can't push on at Crawley Town, and good luck to him. So there's that story, and we also have another story from a young Millwall defender, Alex Mitchell, and here we go. So this is basically an interview. This is also from londonnewsonline.co.uk, and he's given an interview to Richard Crawley, I believe, and there's a few insights into his life and how he came to be where he is. So Millwall defender reveals he was 90 minutes late for his first training session with the club, and how rowing nearly became his sporting focus. So there is more than one reason why Alex Mitchell's Millwall career might not have happened. The first is that he took up rowing at the Windsor Boys School as his focus switched away from football in his teens. And the second is that he turned up extremely late for his first training session with the Lions. The centre-back Mitchell, who 19, has won plaudits for the way he seamlessly adapted to National League football after signing for Bromley on loan in April. And Millwall boss Gary Rowett has already stated that it will be a backward step for the young defender to go back into the development setup next season. Mitchell is convinced that the muscle he packed on rowing and lifting weights, he has a gym in his own home, have helped him deal with the physicality side of the game. He played for hometown Windsor at junior level and had trials with Brentford, Reading, Wickham and Aldershot. Then came a switch into 2,000 metre regattas under the tutelage of Mark Wilkinson, director of rowing at Windsor Boys School. "We used to do it in an 8 or a quad. It was normally in the middle because I was one of the biggest and was more about brute force than technique," said Mitchell. "It's a very, very technical sport. It's good to get into because it teaches you dedication. You're on a river very early, before school, and then you're back out there afterwards, rowing or in a gym. I was training 9 or 10 times a week. Doing that for a year really bulked me up. I loved it because you're not rowing as one, you rely on others. You get quite close. My parents loved it because of the advantages it has for going into university. You can go to a lot of good ones without having the necessary grades because of the rowing. I don't think the money is great unless you get to the very, very top, but I definitely would have carried it on. Barry Dunn at Millwall recruited me. I can't really remember how he got hold of my family, but he asked me to come in for a training session. I had a day off from rowing, which was quite lucky because I probably wouldn't have gone otherwise. I was an hour and a half late. They train in Heltham in Wellhall Road, and you should go around the M25. It's a longer route, but way quicker. It depends which way you go, mate. Clockwise or anti-clockwise. I went through central London and got stuck in traffic. I thought I had already blown it. I hate being late, so it was an awful feeling when I got there. But luckily they liked me and the rest is history. I kicked on from that. Mitchell was at the start of his playing career, but is studying part-time for a degree in business management and accountancy using the Open University. My dad and mum have always said it, you want to plan for after football, because it is a very short career, he said. You never know what is going to happen. You're one injury away from ruining it. Mitchell has had to cut down his time spent pumping iron on the advice of the club. I gym all the time. It's one of my main strengths, he said. I kind of got told this year to stop doing upper body because I think I was getting a bit too balloon shaped. You need to be lean. But my physique has helped me adapt to the men's game as well as me learning the game mentally. Yeah. Maybe just chuck in a few more leg days, mate. Don't skip leg day. 23 football has made me a better player I am. With the help of Paul Robinson and Kevin Nugent, the way that Gary Rowett has talked about me does a lot for my confidence. I want to work as hard as I can and whatever happens, happens. Mitchell's summer break can start now that Bromley's promotion hopes are over. The Ravens beat Notts County in their first playoff match, but then lost 3-2 at Hartlepool in a semi-final on Sunday. Mitchell describes the switch to competitive matches as very, very different. I remember my first game, Chesterfield away, and I was playing against a player who was quite old and the other striker was quite small. You look at that and think, it's not going to be that challenging because the older person is going to run and the smaller person isn't going to want the ball in the air. But the way they used their body and could read the game so quickly, it was a completely different tempo. What I found out is that everybody in a team has their main attributes. They play off, and everyone had the same objective on how they wanted to play. It was really hard to step up to that tempo. I played 10 or 11 games and I feel I properly fitted into it and could read what teams were trying to do. Mitchell admits that the more experienced players did try and play on his lack of senior action, usually the opposing centre-backs. I'll go up for corners and I'll kind of be a bit shaky because I'm up against 40-year-old guys whose hairline starts at the back of their head. They're calling you every name under the sun. And I'm thinking like, please don't hurt me. But it's 90 minutes. Do what you've got to do to win and say whatever you need to say to get into your opponent's head. It never got into my head. I'm quite good like that. Hartlepool were 3-0 up inside 24 minutes before Bromley found some kind of response. At half time, I went into the dressing room devastated, said Mitchell. But in the second half, we properly went for it and I feel we got our pride back. The whole setup at Bromley is unbelievable. The gaffer, Andy Woodman, Alan Dunn and Roger Johnson are so professional in how they do everything. The standard on and off the pitch is the same at Millwall. You have to be on it 24/7, and if you're not as a young player, then you're going to get absolutely handled by the senior players. It's a great club. So there you go. That was a pretty interesting interview from young defender Alex Mitchell. He's only 19 years old, but you can see he's built massively, and that's down to rowing. Yeah. So we'll see how he gets on next season. He'll probably go out on loan again, one assumes. And we'll see how it goes. So that's it for today's Millwall news. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.